live screen, go to live. There we go. Microphone's working. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to Buster's Corner. I've got the chat channel open on my right hand side of my triple monitors. We are at Nashville Super Speedway. Not the fairgrounds, but the Super Speedway. Um, Working on the setup over here. Um, let's see here. Where do we start? Stint analyzer. Where are we at this morning? Right now I'm on the fastest for 25 laps. I got the fastest for 20 laps. Not to say much though. There's Greg way down here. Okay, let's go only my stints. This is what I was working on here this morning. Get rid of this one. Alright, and actually, we're going to all this except for the top one is what I ran this morning, my 35 laps. William Phillips, hey buddy. You should be all up there. The practice session's open. Okay, let's go look at this. This 2.0. So when I did the build this week, anytime you do a build, it's kind of like making a cake. You kind of gotta have in your mind, you know, uh, well, you have to take a guess, I guess, in the beginning. What kind of spring rates do you want to run at this track? Now, when I first looked at this, I said this asphalt, not asphalt, it's concrete, like a Martinsville. I got thinking that uh, concrete is going to be less grip and more sliding, if you will. And my first take on my setup, I was running around 3,500 pound springs in the front. Um, and I was running some pretty low springs in the back as well. I think I was around, I want to say 18 to 32 or something like that, or 20, whatever. As time went on, the smaller springs up front was not good for the long run. And actually, I had this one down about 600 pounds less over here, trying to get better rotation. Um, this car is, on the longer run, this car likes to over rotate. And you know what? I might have to even go back and actually move this bar. We'll see. I might play with that this weekend because it becomes an issue late in the run, and the car wants to get loose. And maybe it's just my driving. Um, I've seen other people are not complaining about that um, as much as I'm complaining about it. So I may need to go back and do something with this. We'll see. Uh, so let's go look at our motec, which this is my first one this morning here, I think. So as we pull this up at motec, this is Tom's new book if you don't have it. And the difference you'll see is on the front page is he has average ride heights now. And this used to be the throttle percentage in here, which I kind of like this right here. And I'll tell you why, because I go here to put my car in a corner somewhere, and it's right about there. I can go to this line right here, and I'm looking to find a little flat spot right there, if you will, with not too many peaks and valleys. Right about there. All right. So, and that's, oh, actually, that's distance, my marker 1700. I should have wrote that down. I never did write that one down. All right. So look at my rake. I got a full 1-inch rake on this. So when we talk about rake in a setup, rake can be your best friend. It can be your worst enemy. Okay. And the problem with rake is that we need the downforce or the lower center of gravity of our car, if you will, because increased rake will give you a lower center of gravity. So we need that lower center of gravity to maintain grip in the corner. Now, for the first 10 to 15 laps, you have mechanical grip. Okay, on your average setup, let's say. Once you get past lap 15 to 30, 15 to 20, mechanical grip starts to come down, and we really need the aero grip, and that's where rake becomes so important. But as we look down the straightaway here, say negative 1.3, rake in the straightaway is bad. We do need some, okay, for stability of the car. I'm not saying you can go to zero here, except for maybe Daytona and the super speedways is a different, totally different vegetable there. But if we could have a negative zero point 0.5 rake down the straightaway, the car will be faster. But we can't necessarily survive with a half-inch rake in the middle of the corner. Now my rake, the rake here, center rake to the front splitter. Okay. Um, so yours is going to be different if you're doing sensor block to sensor block, front blocks to, you know, there's different ways to measure rake, but we are doing the center rake to front splitter. All right. So there, that's I got about 1 inch right there. When I first started this build, right, and I like to start off with 0.7, zero point 0.8, and see how long I can keep that going on. So with the rake, with lower rake, you may need to go into your setup and increase your cross weight. This one might need a little bit more too, actually. Maybe that's my issue. But you're trying to get this, but with less cross weight and less rake, I'm faster. Faster for how long before the mechanical grip goes away and you need more aero grip? Um, that's the fight you have when you're doing the build. Um, okay, so let's go back to here. So when we talk about rake, we have to have rake in order to get us through the corners. But with that said, make this as little as possible, and you'll get better straightaway speed. Okay, so only, and then so the guys were talking. The car is tight on the long run. My response to that is lower the front end 1 click, lower this rake because you don't need so much of it because you've got good enough mechanical grip to hold you from lap 35 to 50. Okay, so bring this down to a 0.99, 0.95, just a hair, and that'll loosen you up on the longer run. Other way around, if you're, I've been having to raise this up because I'm loose on the long run. Okay, so that's why I'm up so high at 1.0, 1.05 right there. I was at 1700 double right there, 106. Okay, so as we go through the run, so there's lap 5. The chat channel open. Oh, that's William, right? So we took my 1.0, changed the rear air B to a 3, had even tires after 25. There you go. There you go. And that's really the kick, the deal there. Like William's talking on the chat channel over you guys, you can't see it. Um, changed, I don't know how many hours into doing springs and ride height stuff like that, but definitely take the car and change the rear RB, change a little something here and there to fit your driving style. Okay, let's keep going. Lap 5. So we're at 110, 173, 106, 178. That's still looking good. Still looking good there. 112 to 181. Let's get on down here. Here I smoked the tires. I'll show you here in a second. So even here, I got 183s across the front, and the back is nice and flat. So the car is looking pretty good. But I had a 114 right there. Why is that 114 so big? Did I increase rake over time? I did. Why? Because the front came up and the back didn't? Really? Let's go to 30. 112. Fascinating, huh? The front's coming up. The back's not coming up. The back's not coming up. And it's increasing our rake. which my loose condition could be a tight loose condition. Huh, ain't that something? Ain't that something? I'm gonna have to go in and drop that nose one click. If it's gonna, I've never seen that before. I I haven't ever seen that before. Is am I generating a tight loose? So 110, 173, 106. With a 112. Huh. Wow. See, rake is important, and it's really depends on how you deal with this rake is how the car is going to handle in the long run. For some reason, I'm picking up rake here because the front is going up and the back is not rising, coming up as much as you would think. That could be a shock thing too. All right, that's that part of it. Um, on the brakes on this one, now a lot of guys are using. I'm gonna say a lot of guys. Some guys are using the brakes to help rotate the car um, down at the bottom of the turn. If you're one of those, definitely increase the rear master cylinder. Um, maybe go to a 3/4 on the rear, and that when you hit the brakes, it's gonna make that car want to turn left for you down at the bottom. I'll give you a better entry. Is that where it was? Yeah. I didn't really feel like it did me much good, but it depends on your driving style. Okay. All right. Let's go turn a couple laps and talk about the track. Um, we got going on so far here. Jack Walls ran the qualifying setup. Greg Girk is not qualifying setup, but he's working on his car. You can loosen this car up and get faster. You can get those 6s and 5s by loosening this car up. But for me, long run, it's not there. It wants to kick around. All right, let's make sure I got the right setup here. No, don't save that. Uh, 2.0. These are my tires from, what did I just do? Oh, I just ran 20 laps. Okay. So in 20 laps, I'm getting really good tire wear. But you know, so we have tires, and the temperatures are good, but um, there's no traction. The traction goes away. Okay, I'm just gonna run a few laps here and kind of show you what I'm doing on the track. Um, interesting thing, if you look at my map on my screen here, you see coming right here, there's a little giddy up in this corner, and that's the part that's killing us. Is that you come around and you got a giddy up that turns the car even more left, and that right there is where I'm having problems, I think. Um, Here comes Tom. Just let him get on by. I hate to have Tom in front of me because you know he's going to hit a wall somewhere. Okay. How many laps is he on? 16. It's a 4th gear set. Alright, coming out of this is 1 and 2. Coming out of here. When I come up out of here, you see this purple right there? That's my flagman right there. That's that first purple. That's my flagman. And the little bump is the little giddy up where they, and then the course comes into you. Where, you know, Texas and these other guys, the corner will fade away, the wall fades away. This one, it comes in and it bites you. all the way up. Get out to the flag man. Get out to the wall. You see the crack in the ground, middle of my windshield. Get her down to the bottom. Wait for the bump. Come back up the hill. Tom just hit that wall. Out to the flag man. Get in the lane. See that crack in the middle of my windshield? The crack, I mean not the crack, the line in the concrete to the middle of my windshield bar. Out to the flag man. Down to the bottom. Bill's running the Scott's America Eagle holiday paint scheme with the eagles and stuff on it. Bill's a veteran. So he's toting that paint scheme this week. Probably for a month. You get behind somebody right there, you hear, I started to hit the chip. Weather here is 79.
Clear inside. Clear inside.
So watch your throttle when you hit that bump. Get the car settled down. That bump can upset the rear end and get you moving all over the place. All right, last lap. You hear me hit the chips a little bit right there? Loose is fast. See, I'm already loose right there, coming up off of there. Bill's watching me in his mirror. He messed up that turn. What do we get here for? 9, 30.2, 30.1, 30.1. Because I'm waiting on Bill? I don't know. Uh, 197, 205, 98, 99, 98, 98. I mean, that's just a few laps, right? Oops. How many laps was it? 6. Okay. All right, so that's the setup right there. I wonder if we could. What do we got here? 1904. That's pretty close. That's all we changed, right? I'm gonna run a couple quick laps with that. Just curious. So you're gonna see guys take that setup, my setup or anybody's setup, and they're gonna try and loosen it up because here's the deal. In the beginning of the race, the car's gonna probably start out tight. I really think I should tighten this one up more. I really do. I think I got it too loose still. Dropping that nose, so dropping that nose is going to do what? It's going to loosen the car up. Adding more negative rake. And when I say more rake, I'm talking negative. When it comes to next gen. More rake is negative rake. We don't use positive rake on the super speedways. By lowering that nose, it's going to loosen the car up. Because what I think what I'm seeing is maybe with the increased rake over the 35 laps, if the back ain't coming up and the nose is, we're increasing our negative rake, which is going to make us tighter. So maybe I have a tight loose condition because of rake. Actually, it doesn't take off tight. It's not tight at all. I wonder if that could be track conditions. Last lap.
Car 411, just hit the fastest lap. 29.647.
Look at there.
That was your fastest lap of the session. Car 411, just hit the fastest lap. 29.63.
Yeah, that won't last long. That won't last long. Okay, that loosened us up. Fast lap. But I still feel like it's just too loose though. All right, let's change 51.2. Let's get off this. I think I got it. I just got it too loose, I think. But you saw the changes I did, so you can easily, if you like those, you can put them back in there. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. .4. We were 51 something, right? Yeah. Like just a couple of laps. How much time we got? 24 minutes? Let's keep going. Okay, can you find a spot to get in here? Tom's coming around on me. There, now it felt a little tight there on my first lap. Cold tires too, though. Okay, a little tight through there, but that's okay. That's okay, because it's going to go loose on us, so. Watch out for that wall. That's Tom's fault because I got close to him and I hit the wall. It's like contagious.
Car outside. Stay low.
You know he wants to hit me, don't
Yeah.
you? He wants to dump me because he knows I'm making a video. He's dying to dump me right there. Just so he can laugh his ass off. I'm surprised he didn't. You know he wanted to. Yeah, I'm liking that better. What lap we on? Lap 4. We didn't lose a lot of time here, I don't think. Last one. So I gotta wait for that bump to hit. That's done. We're done. That's fine. Okay, let's wrap this up. Okay, 8, 904, 944. I didn't get that fast light. Well, Tom was on our way, right? Okay, that was just 5 laps. 204, 205. Okay, that's pretty. I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna save this as 2.5. 2.5 tighter. We'll save that and we'll post that over there. Okay, I think we're done. What time we got? Yeah, it's a 30-minute video. We're done. Anything else going on? So what's going on over here? Talk about Nashville. So you finally pulled those pressures down. Yeah, so what Jeff doesn't understand here, he's new. So as you go through the build, also, I had these 35 and 55. Now, there was something I saw that Kenny Coppola was doing that he was testing with, and he was doing that 35, 55s, and even there are a few guys, not just Kenny, but some other guys, were testing with that. And actually, I could go back to that. It didn't make a difference. The tires that maxed out, we have found that it really frees up the car in the beginning of the run for you, so you're not quite so tight. Um, and the it made the car though a little more edgy, if you will. later in the run, uh, but the speed gained in the beginning showed to be a benefit. Okay, I didn't think it really worked as good as I wanted it to over here, but with the other issues I had with the car loose on a long run, I thought the tires might have been it, but it wasn't. Okay, so the tires, I really don't care where you put the tires anymore. Um, to me, it's not making that big of a difference uh, whether you go 35, 55, or 27, 40. It's still a 20-pound split. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter at all. But we did find proof that it did help your speed in the beginning of the run. Like your qualifying setup has a higher air pressures. Why? Because you want that speed real fast. So it was working. Um, but I was chasing other things and got off it. I could put them back. Um, okay, guys, that's it. We're out of here. Happy race day.